Hey guys, welcome to NPC. Today, we're going to be talking about a fighting game that's becoming increasingly popular on the PS3 platform, and that is PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Hey guys, welcome to the very first episode of NPC. Like I said, in this first episode, we're going to be talking about PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. And in this game, I'm going to tell you not so much my review on the game, I'm going to give you an in-depth opinion from someone who's played the game and knows its highs as well as its painstaking lows. And we're going to see if it's a game that's not just a competitor against Smash Brothers, but if it's a good party fighting game in general. Alright, first things first, let's talk about what the game does right. The first thing that the game does great is its presentation. The developers have done a great job making the world bright and colorful and bringing together characters from vastly different worlds who, in this world, at least somewhat look together. They're as together as you can make Raiden look with Parappa the Rapper. But it makes for a great experience. The backgrounds on the stages, for one, are great to look at. Some of them you won't even notice until you're not playing the game. It makes it for that people who aren't playing, who are sitting on the sidelines, get a great little thing to watch, such as watching Hades take on the Patapons in the background is delightfully entertaining, even if somewhat miscued, because we all know that would not work. Also, in the game, if you've ever played Jak and Daxter or Sly Cooper, you'll notice immediately the characters feel and act just like they do in their games, with most of them having a lot of their trademark moves. And it's great to see in form, to see Jak's wacky punches, or to see Sly use a lot of his skills from the devious raccoonists that were in the Sly games. The game is frantic and fun, and really has the feel of a party game. That's kind of hard to get now. When you're playing the game, you'll pick up items, and you'll fight, most of the time, 3 other characters, which makes it to where you really have to think on your feet. But the game also has the presence of mind to put in a good deal of strategy. Your characters have a wide assortment of combo moves and special moves that you can execute with either the R2 button for special moves or using a variety of square, triangle, and circle for your combo attacks. The game even has a lot of quirks that happen that you will not notice for a good while. I, for one, did not know during Big Daddy's level 3, if you do it on the Hades level, you actually see the Patapon swimming around in the background. It makes for some really cool Easter eggs, and just something that makes you laugh when you're playing the game. Also, in the game, you level up, and as you level up, you unlock many unlockables for your character. Now, these unlockables can be things like outfits the character has worn from the other game, different intros, different outros. Heck, you can even get your own character's theme music to play when you win. It really makes it to where, when you win, you like hearing that sound, you like knowing, yeah, I beat you, and I need to rock out to Dante's music, but we'll get to the gripe of Dante later. The other good thing is that even though you level up in the game, rank means very little. An absurdly level 999, can still lose to a level 13 if the level 13 is skilled enough. It really makes it to where it's not so much a grind fest of getting new abilities, because whatever your character has at level 1, he's gonna have at the level when he maxes out. Now this is good and bad, but the reason that it's good is because it makes it to where anybody coming in has a chance when they go out there, and that is great party fun. On the single player side, you also have your character rivalries, and this really makes it cool because you get cutscenes for the characters when you play single player, and although they're pretty bare bones, just having one cutscene with these 2 characters in the depth of the entire single player, it still makes it to where you can either get a really cool cutscene with Noriko and Dante, or maybe you can get like a really goofy one that makes no sense at all, like Big Daddy and Sackboy, or even have one like Sir Daniel and Raditz. But as good as the game is, it is not without its flaws. Going back to the single player, while yeah, you get the great cutscene with your rival once you get towards the end, the beginning is really stale with still cutscenes when you could have had such a big opportunity having all these PlayStation stars together to really get that cool feel of having them all in the same world. And I don't like comparing it to Brawl that much, or even the Smash Bros. Series at all, because I like to think of it as its own game. But when you actually do compare it, and think of Brawl's amazing story cutscene, having all these characters fighting alongside one another, it really makes All-Stars pale in comparison. The game also suffers from balancing issues that show clearly that it was pushed out before it was all the way completed. Some characters are actually innately just better than others simply because of how the developers have decided to set them up. In the game, you have level 1, 2, and 3 special moves, and you build a meter that constantly increases this. Level 1s are supposed to be better than level 2s, with level 3s being the best out of all of them. However, some characters have very questionable level 1s and 2s. For this example, Kratos and Sir Daniel. Now, let's think of Kratos. Now, Kratos is a big, brutish character, and he of course gains AP very quickly. His level 1 involves him charging forward and slashing his opponent, taking them out instantly upon impact. Sir Daniel does not gain AP as fast and is a more technical character, and when he does his level 1, while he takes longer to gain it, it's actually worse than Kratos. Sir Daniel shoots a blast of energy directly up at a slightly diagonal angle, which is going to miss 40% of the cast. Small characters like Parappa or Spike or Sackboy just completely whiff. Even bigger characters tend to miss sometimes, which is infuriating if you're playing the game and you're getting pelted over and over and over again when you have to do all these setups just to make sure your super lands, which is the only way you're going to win. My final gripe with the game is that some characters are clearly used simply because their games were coming out. Going back to the issue of Dante, now, we all know what Dante looks like. White hair, red jacket. Now, I'm not even going to go into the whole DMC thing, but this is what Dante has looked like, and mainly the reason why he should be on the All-Stars team. Because around the time All-Stars came out, his game was coming out. So, let's just throw him in the game. This makes no sense, and there are a lot of characters that are like this. You can clearly tell some of them did not deserve the coveted All-Stars rank and just deserve to be in here. Some characters that many people can think of aren't even present, and that's awful because you have such a list of characters that you can have and you're not taking advantage of all of them. Instead, you're pandering to games that are coming out so you can get some more change in your pocket, at least in my honest opinion. So, to conclude on the game, I'm not saying All-Stars is a bad game. I'm not saying it's a bad game at all. In fact, All-Stars is a great game. It's a great game for PlayStation lovers, a game that we've been craving for years, just looking at Nintendo getting all of the Smash Brothers titles. It's about time that PlayStation users finally get that great party game that you deserved. And it's also great to see all of these characters, as I've said before, come together in one world and just see them duke it out. Now, while All-Stars has a lot of things that you have to get through just to get to the meaty center that is good gameplay, if you stick with it, then you will find a great game in here. If you find it, then you can rent it, or if you can even find it in a bargain bin if the price ever goes down on it, pick it up. I guarantee you'll have some fun with it, especially with friends. If you're thinking about getting All-Stars Royale, I would recommend go to a friend's house, play it. If you like it, pick it up. Or even just go buy it if you have the extra money on you. And thanks guys, I'll see you at the next episode of NPC. Hey guys, thanks for joining us on the very first episode of NPC. If you like what you saw, leave us a little like. And also, if you want to subscribe, I don't really care if you do or not, but if you don't, you're just going to have a hard time finding us next time. And I might not be here, so you may want to subscribe. Not saying you got to, because I don't care about your opinion, but, you know, it's there. Do it. Peer pressure.